Hello everyone and welcome to our third week of to TCG PokeDECKS. Sorry, I got a little bit confused there. Today we are obviously going to feature the Blastoise line, which is next in the Pokedex. So I thought about a lot of things coming into this week. I thought about using the expanded Blastoise list, which did win Worlds last year. It does feature Blastoise, but Blastoise doesn't really attack there. It's only there for support. But yeah, I did consider that. Then we also had the option to use the Mega Blastoise from Generations for Standard, or the XY Mega Evolution for Expanded. But losing the Mega turn, it hasn't really worked out for us in the previous weeks. So I wanted to try out something different for this week. So no Mega Blastoise this time around, but as you can see, we do have Blastoise with a very interesting concept. Blastoise EX, its first attack deals 60 damage, and you get to try and discard an energy card off of your opponent's active Pokemon. And then with Slowking as its pairing, you can flip to try and move an energy from the active to a benched Pokemon. So you could maybe stack up energy on Shaymins, you could stack up energy on things that aren't really useful or don't threaten Blastoise, and between Slowking's attack and then Blastoise EX, Slowking's ability and then Blastoise EX's attack, we have one Enhanced Hammer as well, and we have Team Flare Grunt. We could really be annoying our opponents. Now, I did think of using Crushing Hammer, and maybe it's worth including Crushing Hammer. Not entirely sure what I would drop though from the list, because I do want healing from Rough Seas for durability. I do like the Max Elixirs, but yeah, I'm actually gonna try and make room for the Crushing Hammers, at least 3. I guess I'll sacrifice the Enhanced Hammer, and I could definitely I could go down to 2 Rough Seas maybe, or to 2 Fighting Fury Belt. Gonna go down to 2 Fighting Fury Belt, and then I'd like at least a 3rd Crushing Hammer. Maybe the turns we buy off of Crushing Hammers and Blastoise's attack can make up for the fact that we run 3 Max Elixir. So I'm gonna add 3 Crushing Hammer. We didn't sacrifice too many support cards, I reckon, and I don't know, I feel like this will make the video even more fun, because there will be a lot of flips here. So I'll show you guys the rest of the list really quickly. So like I said, Slowking really good with, or hopefully it'll work out for us with Blastoise. Then we have Octillery for end recovery and things like that. And yeah, we have 3 Crushing Hammer, which you just saw me include. We have 3 Max Elixir to try and power up benched Blastoises faster. We do have Team Flare Grunt to deny even more energy. We do have Fighting Fury Belt to make Blastoise last longer and hit just a little bit harder. And then we have Rough Seas for durability. Maybe a Manaphy. Maybe I'll include a Manaphy. Yeah, why didn't I think of Manaphy? Okay, so I'm making quite a few changes. But as I'm saying things, I clearly haven't played with the deck, but I was very short of time this time around. So I'm gonna remove all 3 Floatstone. I'm going to play 2 Manaphy, and that way I pretty much guarantee. Well, okay, I'm gonna play 1 Manaphy. I'm going to play 1 Floatstone because we could face off against some Garbodor deck, and I'm gonna play the 4th Crushing Hammer because why not? Okay, so that's the last change I'm gonna make to the deck, I promise. But I feel like it's a worthwhile change. Between Manaphy and the 1 Floatstone, you can make sure Octillery doesn't stay up in the active slot. If we face off against a Garbodor deck, well, that pretty much shuts down not only Manaphy but also Octillery and Slowking, so it's not like we're gonna have much of a chance there. And yeah, that's the list. Other than that, it's pretty much consistency. We do have access to Dive Ball instead of Ultra Ball, so we don't have to worry about discarding too many precious resources. And yeah, so that's gonna be the list. Let us start finding some games, shall we? I'm really excited. I feel like this is a very different concept, and it's all for fun. So I hope we can win at least one game, or we get to showcase, or we get to annoy our opponents a lot with a ton of energy removal. That would be really, really cool. And yeah, this is the main aspect of the series. It's simply to have fun. We're gonna go week after week completing the Pokedex. Next week is Butterfree, and I've checked, there's no competitive Butterfree card. So we're definitely gonna be in for a really, really rough time. I don't know. It's gonna be really complicated this upcoming week. I mean, we do have Forest of Giant Plants. Butterfree does do some damage. Maybe we can find some good support Pokemon for Butterfree, but having Butterfree win a game, like, that's a really big challenge. Beedrill, I feel like there's a lot more room for... Wow, and we're mulliganing a ton. I feel like Beedrill does have more room for maneuverability. Did I say that right? Probably not. But yeah, I do feel like, what the hell is going on? We have 9 basic Pokemon. Why are we mulliganing so much? Okay, finally we get our Blastoise. Not perfect, but we can work with this. We can definitely work with this. Energy Switch could also help, considering we are using Manaphy, kind of like in the style of... Wow, we're actually up against Scissor. So this will be interesting. If we can deny some energy, maybe we can do some interesting plays here. Maybe we can do something interesting. And we can pile up energy onto Hoopa, which I will definitely not complain about. And he will never one-hit KO us. So if we are able to have a Rough Seas stick, then maybe we could do some really nice plays. Now the issue is he can discard the TCs. He can definitely do that against us. So that could be an issue. Okay. A ton of... Wow, he just discarded a Shaman and 2 Versus Seekers. Okay, there's Garbodor, unfortunately. He has already played 2 Floatstones, though. He has already played 2 Floatstones, so that could work in our favor. Now, because of how Mega Scissor works, we might not... Well, I'm gonna attach the energy, but we will probably eventually need to power up Blastoises with purely basic energy. Okay, so yeah, this is what I'm thinking. We might not be able to get off to the greatest start, but we can possibly delay our opponent from getting too much of an explosive start, which could be good. Mega Scissor can discard Rough Seas as well. So that's obviously not ideal. There's another Spirit Link. That's 4 Pokemon tool cards, so if he wants Garbodor active, he will need... Wow, he got the Mega Turbo. He will need... And he discards a Stadium. That's good news, I guess. And the 3rd Floatstone. Wow. So I guess he hasn't seen the Slowking, which is good. Or he didn't pay attention, rather. Wow, 2 Mega Scissors already. So that N I gave my opponents was huge. A clean 6 card setup for 6 and no... Wow, he's down to 20 cards in his deck. That's really bad for us. If he finds an energy, he can start attacking my Blastoise, which is obviously not great. And he does use N. Okay. So he didn't have the energy, which is good news, I guess. But his deck must be full of energy by this point. We do find some okay cards, though. We do find some okay cards. There's the Iron Crusher. That's perfectly fine. 120 damage. Well, it is a 2-hit KO, so maybe not so fine. But we get a chance here to start removing energy. So, with the Dive Ball, I'm actually gonna find a Remoraid. There's 2 Floatstones in play, and there's 1 in the discard. I generally don't think my opponent plays a Force. I generally wouldn't think my opponent plays a Force. I whiffed the Max Elixir. Okay, That's not good news. I generally don't think my opponent will play a fourth float stone, so he will be forced to attach Spirit Link onto the Garbodor, which could open up some decking out plays for us. We do flip another heads, which is awesome. And if I flip heads this time around with Blastoise as well, which would be extremely lucky, I would actually deny my opponent from attacking me this upcoming turn. So let's try that out. Hyper Whirlpool. Can we flip a third heads in a row? We can. Wow. Wow. We are getting really lucky here, guys. We are getting really, really lucky. And okay, my opponent does max potion. That's fine. That means he's going to Sycamore. He's gonna try and find another Mega Turbo, which makes sense. Definitely makes sense. He could also, okay, he's gonna end. He's definitely gonna try to find a Mega Turbo, but that's his third versus Seeker. That's his third versus Seeker, and he has, what, one N in the discard pile? He does find the Mega Turbo, but we ourselves have the next DCE, okay? So we have the Blastoise Hyper Whirlpool heads flip. We have the Crushing Hammer, and I'm actually gonna find Slowking, and we could potentially get two Slowking flips to place an energy onto the Hoopa in order to annoy our opponent, like really annoy him. This Fighting Fury Belt, wow, that's the fourth heads. Now that's ridiculous. I've never been this lucky, you know? I'm gonna try the Slowking flip first. What? How is this even possible? I flipped all heads for my opponent, and there's yes. Blastoise is so good, guys. Wow. Oh boy. That was really cool. I guess if you do it, get 5 heads flips in a row, you're bound to piss off some people off. Oh well. Okay, let's hope our lucky streak continues. Looks like we might be up against another Mega Scissor Garbodor deck. I won the coin flip, so I get to go first this time around, which is awesome. Awesome. And we start Blastoise. We don't start with a really good hand though, but my opponent did mulligan. I'm gonna bench all of these guys anyways. I'll just click done. And yeah, it looks to be Pokemon Ranger. Yeah, the Scissor Spirit Link, the Max Potion, that's obviously going to be Mega Scissor. So this should prove really interesting. I do want that extra card, which is a Blastoise, which is not really helpful, but I do top deck a Sycamore, so that's really nice. That is definitely really nice. Now, I generally do not want to discard my Slowking. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find the Slowpoke that will kind of reveal my strategy to my opponent. So he will probably make more effort, or a bigger effort, in trying to get Garbodor set up, which would obviously be very problematic. But if we find a TC next turn and we have Slowking, we could potentially prevent the first Scissor from attacking. My opponent will also be removing item cards as well, or trying to remove energy as well from us with Team Flare Grunt and things like that. But yeah, we can start placing energy onto the Hoopa. My opponent might actually not even attach to the active Scissor, which would make sense considering he's seen my Blastoise and he should know what Slowking does, I would imagine. But I'm really excited, guys. I am really excited. And no Trubbish is good news. I mean, no Trubbish so far. No Trubbish so far is definitely good news. He might not even have the Trubbish, you know? He might not even have the Trubbish. There's the energy on the active, so that's good news. That is definitely good news. He will deal 20 damage, doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, because he will 2-hit KO me anyways. He does find the Ultra Ball though. discards a Scissor and a Cobalion, so he will definitely be going for Trubbish here. Wow, he actually doesn't grab anything, and he chooses to Sycamore, so maybe, wow. Are both Trubbishes prized? Are we that lucky today? Are we really that lucky? Okay, my opponent does have an end for next turn. A Spirit Link, a Mega Turbos in the discard pile, which is obviously great. That auxiliary top deck is not great at all, but let's flip for Royal Flash. Weekend heads. Okay, someone take notice of how many heads flips we actually do get. Seeing that heads flips, what I'm actually gonna do is I'm going to attach. Well, yeah, I'm just gonna attach a water energy to the Blastoise. I'm gonna power up this Blastoise with 3 basic water energy, so that I'm not at any risk of Mega Scissor preventing me from removing energy. Okay, that's the goal of this deck. Wow, 6 flips, 6 head flips. I'm gonna try and keep count myself throughout the video. This has generally been really, really fun. I mean, I have fun when I win, obviously, but I mean, it's Blastoise. Blastoise made my opponent surrender. Okay, now that's not cool. Gonna get rid of the Manaphy because I can potentially get it back, and I'm going to get rid of the Blastoise, I guess, because we do have another Blastoise. I would like to have auxiliary eventually set up. He does choose to Mega Evolve, but he really shouldn't attach energy to the active, and we could potentially deck my opponent out. Like, if he chooses not to attach energy to the active, he will not drop prizes, he will not get Trubbish out of the prizes, and we could simply deck him out. Okay, there's an escape rope. That's not good news. A single N and no Versus Seekers yet. Okay, so I mean, we're not in any trouble, are we? So I can simply promote Remoraid, or I could promote the other Blastoise. That's what I'm gonna do. That kind of saves my Blastoise. I'm obviously not gonna flip heads, or not gonna try and flip for Hoopa. Now, the energy on the bench Scissor is really smart, obviously, but I can try and remove it. 3 Scissors active already, but we do have 2 head flips, which is cool. Wow, I meant 2 Crushing Hammer flips, but that's 7 out of 7. That is actually 7 out of 7 head flips. I don't want to use End though, so I'm just gonna pass my turn for now. I want to have the Crushing Hammer, I want to have the Slowking, and my opponent only had 2 cards in his hand, so I don't want to help him out. He does use his first Seeker, and he's going to Sycamore, so like I mentioned, there is a chance that we might actually win simply by decking my opponent out. And he just discarded a Parallel City, which is great, because that means we can potentially win the Stadium War as well. There's another Float Zone on the Shaman, that's no big deal. Attaches to a Scissor and passes. Great, I generally do not mind this. I'm just gonna Crushing Hammer. That is 8 out of 8, guys. That is genuinely incredible. And by using N right now, I start putting pressure on the Hoopa. I remove an energy, I guess, which doesn't really matter too much. But wow, this is this is weird. Basically, him discarding the Stadium is great because he will no longer threaten to make my bench weaker, I guess. I'm gonna play the Max Elixir, might as well make my deck just a little bit thinner. And there's no reason for me to flip for Slowking right now. Hyper Whirlpool. Are we gonna get 9? 9! Wow! 9! Wow. I am genuinely in awe. I am very surprised this is happening. Okay. Everyone does find a Mega Turbo now. He will Super Rod. He will Super Rod. Probably 3 energy. Yep, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. That's his second Mega Turbo though. And Mega Scissor decks usually don't run more than 2. I'd be really surprised if he ran a third. He uses End, so he actually helps me out because my hand was not ideal. And if he chooses... wow. Okay. This is great. He'll obviously want to remove the energy, right? I am perfectly fine with that. I am generally perfectly fine with that. Okay, first off, we're gonna heal the Blastoise. Then, we are going to... Man, I wish I had Manaphy right now. Okay, first, we're gonna use Slowking's ability, which we flip Tails on. Okay, so our first Tails here. See, I want to remove an energy, but I know he will be able to... Yeah, and attaching to the active Blastoise makes no sense at all. So I'm just gonna find the next... Well, I could find another Slowking. Now, I'm gonna power up another Blastoise. I'll allow my opponent to grab the 2 prizes. I am okay with that. I think I'm okay with that. I will bench the Blastoise, hopefully hit the max elixir here. I do. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I will attach an energy here, and I will actually... Should I remove the energy? Or should I simply Lysander? I'm gonna Lysander instead. I'm gonna Lysander another Scissor, which should buy me a few turns. Might actually make this Blastoise EX survive, potentially. And I'm in no hurry to take my 6 prizes. Like, I would be surprised if I won by prizes. I think I'm gonna win either by deck out or... No, I don't know. I generally don't know how I'm gonna win. He has used his escape rope. Maybe he has another one. He can't attach a float stone, so he simply passes. That is great. Okay. So now I get to heal my Blastoise. I get another Slowking, which is awesome. And first I'm gonna use Slowking's ability because energy on Hoopa is pretty much dead energy, you know? So there's the heads flips. The heads flip. I'm starting to flip tails now, which is good. And there, Blastoise, guys. That's the second victory in a row. Wow. I'm gonna play this at a tournament. Oh boy. Okay, my opponents are gonna hate me. My opponents are generally going to hate me. But wow, that's 2 Mega Scissor EX decks that we've beat so far, which is awesome. I mean, we can beat Mega Scissor because he has no way to one-hit KO us, which is obviously good. And I'm getting ridiculous head flips. Like, I'm generally getting ridiculous head flips, which is awesome. I'm not gonna complain. Now we're up against a Psychic deck with a Mega Mewtwo coin, a Mega Mewtwo or a Mewtwo deck box, and purely Psychic type. I apologize for the sound outside, but yeah. This is obviously going to be Mega Mewtwo, so it's not gonna be an easy time for us for sure. And we are going second as well, which is obviously not great. And he starts Trubbish, which is not great either. Okay, there's a Hoopa immediately. So yeah. Maybe our winning streak will be over after this game, but it's fine. It's fine. We're having fun. I'm having fun. Sucks that we won't be able to use Slowking though. That really sucks. Wow. Could my opponent get a better first turn? I mean, he's only missing energy at this point. Yikes. if we had gone first, we could have end his Hoopa, we could have attached, we could have started to put pressure on the Trubbish if he didn't find a way to retreat it. But alas, that is not the case. That is definitely not the case. Okay, he has energy already, he chooses to retreat, recognizing the possibility of me getting a KO on the Trubbish, and I top deck an energy, which is not ideal. So I'm just gonna end here. I don't attach the TC because that might actually hurt me in the long run. I actually find Manaphy, so I might actually want to sacrifice Manaphy instead of allowing him to hit the Blastoise, because he generally shouldn't be able to KO Manaphy. So I might actually be able to save Manaphy for later. I might actually be able to. There's a Trainer's Mail. Hopefully my opponent, returns a favor and uses N himself. That would be nice, in the sense that maybe we can find some more Blastoises, we can find more energy. If we get a ton of Crushing Hammer head flips, then maybe we can do something. He goes for Shaman, so he's gonna Shaman for 2. He's trying not to end me, but a Shaman for 2, like, why wouldn't you go for the Mega Mewtwo and use N? That makes no sense to me, honestly. There's a Garbodor, which sucks. There's the Mega, wow. That was his Shaman for 2. He actually got Garbodor and Mega Mewtwo off of the Shaman for 2, because otherwise it made no sense. Maybe the Garbodor, okay, maybe he didn't get the Garbodor, but he definitely got the Mega Mewtwo. Otherwise it makes no sense for you not to play it beforehand. Okay, there's another Spirit Link, there's a Heavy Ball, and he chooses to use Shatter Shot for 30 damage. So, if we hit this Max Elixir, we do, and we start flipping head flips like there's no tomorrow, we could potentially prevent my opponent from attacking us. Okay, so I'm gonna Hyper Whirlpool here. Hopefully we get heads, we get tails, so things are starting to not go our way. If he finds a DCE now, he will be able to KO us, so that's not good. That is definitely not good. He's just gonna Sycamore, and odds are he will find the DCE or a Mega Turbo and a basic energy. There's another Max Elixir, yeah, Mega Turbo and an energy does it as well. He whiffed his Max Elixir, he finds a Lysander. I wouldn't mind finding a Lysander myself. He got the DCE. So yeah, we're definitely not gonna win this time around. 190 damage. With no abilities, with no anything, I'm just gonna concede here, guys. We have no chance against Mega Mewtwo at this point in time, and I'd rather find another game to have fun, because all we were going to do at that point is simply promote things, let them get KO'd, and then Blastoise would eventually get one head flips and that would be it. So might as well. Okay, now we're up against a Water Psychic colorless deck, so maybe Mega Mewtwo with Manaphy support, because Mega Mewtwo can use basic energy, any kind of energy it wants. Okay, so I do get a basic. My opponent didn't, but he is going first. And we do see Mega Turbo, we do see Special Charge. So I would be really surprised if it's anything like, well, it could be Mega Gyarados, I guess. But I generally think it's Mega Mewtwo with some sort of water type support, potentially Octillery, potential, yep. Wow, what? Okay, he plays Talonflame in a Mega Mewtwo Garbodor deck with some sort of water type Pokemon. That is really weird, honestly, really weird. Oh boy, okay. This is really weird. Why do I top deck a Sycamore? Okay. So games are not... now we're all flipping all tails. Now we are flipping all tails. Okay, I'm just gonna attach the Remoraid, and I have to Sycamore. I mean, I obviously have to Sycamore. I need to start finding Blastoises, which apparently is not going to be the case for today. We do get one head slips, and we have to pass here. I don't think Remoraid is at any risk of getting KO'd at this point in time. Well, never mind. My friend could definitely find a Mega Turbo and an Energy or a TCE simply and KO our Remoraid. Hopefully he doesn't, but there we go. Yeah, this is not good. Oh boy, another Mega Mewtwo deck. With Talonflame, that makes no sense at all. And what water type Pokemon are you using? What water type Pokemon are you using, man? You're not even using water type energy apparently. I have no clue. I genuinely have no clue what my opponent is playing in his Mega Mewtwo deck. Wow, he passes. Okay, so we get really lucky there. But we top deck another card that we don't want to top deck. We want to power up Blastoise. I mean, I could hog. I could definitely hog something. Try to hog something. But no, I'm just gonna Sycamore. I can't believe I haven't found a single Blastoise. Why? Come on. Come on. This is just... it's simply not fair, you know? It's simply not fair. Like... we are trying to have fun here. Why does this happen? Why, PTCGO? Why do you do this? And against an opponent like this, he uses Crushing Hammer in his Mewtwo deck. No wonder he didn't draw energy. No wonder. Okay, at least we catch a break here with the N. But it's turn 4 now. It's gonna be our 4th turn. No, our 3rd turn. And still no Blastoise. What is this? This is ridiculous. This is really unfortunate, guys. This is generally really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. Oh boy. We could have hogged. We could have hogged something. We could have hogged Garbodor. There we go. There we freaking... wow, there's 2 Blastoise EXs priced. No wonder. Okay, at least we get some head flips here. But I'm not entirely sold. Yep, of course I whiff the Max Elixir. Of course I whiff the Max Elixir. Nope, today's just not gonna happen, guys. Today is simply not going to happen. Okay, Sycamore. We find our other Crushing Hammer. We do flip heads. We are going to remove the DCE. But now, I genuinely do not want to sacrifice the Slowpoke. So this is what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna pass. Hopefully Manaphy survives. Hopefully Manaphy survives. And hopefully he doesn't set up the Garbodor, I guess. If he doesn't, we could potentially... okay, that's gonna find Garbodor for sure. A Mewtwo and an N. We haven't really used any useful abilities though. And I generally think we can eventually hog the Carburetor. I feel like we can potentially hog the Carburetor. Like that's a generally viable play here for us. And even hog the Hoopa. Because my opponent should have escape ropes and float stones. But that's not going to help him against the threat that is Octillery. Okay, he's going to end us once again. The fact that he's using a ton of Earth Seekers is good, I guess. Good news, we get an extra card here. We don't get energy this time around. He does find the DCE. Replaces the stadium, that's fine. But doesn't find the tool for Carburetor. Great. Great. Okay. So, here, I get at least 2 flips. So, I'm gonna grab the... No. I'm gonna grab the Slowking. Did I discard a Slowking early on? No. Okay, so 1 Slowking is priced. But we get a head slips for... or we get a flip rather for Blastoise, and we get a flip for Slowking as well. And I'm going to use Octillery first because... well, I could Lysander. Okay. I'm going to use Slowking, Royal Flash. We get Tails. Okay. So now I might... okay, I'm gonna heal. I think I want to Lysander up the Carburetor. Because if we're gonna have a shot at winning this game, it's gonna be by having Slowking use abilities many turns in a row. So that's what I'm gonna try and do here. Hopefully, if we had gotten ahead. Okay. So there's a Hyper Whirlpool here. I need 1 turn. I need one turn. If I had gotten heads on the Slowking, I could have placed the energy on the Carburetor and then discarded it. Train. Come on. 2 card hand. 2 card hand. And he has the energy to KO me, and off of the Trainer's Mail, he finds a Float Stone, because why the heck not, right? Why the heck not? Okay. So. That was lame. That was really extremely lame. Okay. Gonna Lysander up the Hoopa. And then I'm going to pass. Now I'm depressed. That was really unfortunate. 2 card hand, and he had the energy to KO me, and I whiffed the flip, and he found the Float Stone. Okay. He chooses to Ultra Ball. Basically, I deck myself out before him. So he's probably in no hurry at all. How many Verse Seekers? 2. Okay. And he simply passes. Okay. So I do find that energy now. So I can attack the Carburetor, right? And then what? I KO the Carburetor, I get my abilities once again. Then that Mewtwo already has 4 energy. That Mewtwo already has 4 energy. I have 0 Blastoise left in my deck. Which sucks. Do I KO the Carburetor? Like, I feel like KOing the Carburetor with something else is better. And then having the Blastoise available. But I'm not even drawing any energy. Oh boy. Okay. At least I'm going to retreat into the Remoraid to prevent the KO there. I will place the Fighting Fury build there. Basically, I need him to find the Floatstone maybe, promote the Mewtwo, and then I can try and Team Flurry Grunt and then flip heads. That would be a possibility. Everyone does find the Skyla. For the Floatstone, okay, like if we get a ton of head flips, what? One Crushing Hammer and one Enhanced Hammer, because why the heck not, right? Why the heck not? Ugh. This is so stupid. This is generally ridiculous. What kind of Mega Mewtwo list is that? What kind of Mega Mewtwo deck list is that? And that's only his second TCE. Oh, third. Okay. That's his third TCE. Okay. So I'm gonna remove the TCE. And I have to leave Blastoise EX active. I have to. Has another energy. He's 10 short of the KO. But not attaching energy the previous turn is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Okay. Now this upcoming turn, okay, I get an energy. But basically I can't deck my opponent out. I cannot deck my opponent out. So I have to keep removing his energy. And then I have to sacrifice the Octillery. Right? Yeah, I have to sacrifice the Octillery. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 basic energy. So he has a ton of energy still. He has a ton of energy. I need him to Sycamore. There's another energy. I need to top deck an energy. That's what I need. I need to top deck an energy. That's the only thing that might save me here. Provided he never finds a Lysander or something. But I don't. But I do not. So I guess I will N. And do I even... Nope, no Crushing Hammers left. Therefore, I have to attach an energy. I have to retreat into Manaphy. I mean into Blastoise. I have to find the other Blastoise. I'm not gonna win here. I'm definitely not going to win. Max Elixir, but maybe if I can remove enough energy, like maybe I can prevent a hit, and I don't want him using Damage Swap. Well, I'd rather actually him using, but whatever. I need a head flips. I need a head flip right here, right now. Damn it! Gosh. And he's gonna have the energy off of the 2 card, and I know he's gonna have the energy. I just know it. Maybe if next turn we can... yeah, he has the energy. He obviously has the energy. Just play it. Just play it, man. Just play it. Just play it. Well, there you go. Well, there you go. Okay, so yeah, our gimmick worked twice, where we got a ton of heads, and then we stopped flipping heads, and it stopped working. So, what are you gonna do, guys? I feel like we definitely got a bit unlucky in this match, especially, but I mean, it is a Blastoise Slowking deck. Garbodor seems to be everywhere in the metagame, so there's really not much you can do about that. And yeah, that'll be all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys at least had some fun and enjoyed the decks concept. Maybe it can be reworked into something better. Who knows? Energy removal definitely has a lot of potential, I reckon. And yeah, that's gonna be it from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week for some expanded decks on Monday and Wednesday, and then we get to see Butterfree. Yep, we get to see Butterfree in action in another very hard week. That's for sure. But yeah, I'll try to come up with something cool. If you, oh wow, and I actually am using the wrong layout, so no question of the day apparently. But yeah, hopefully I can find a good partner for Butterfree. If you have any ideas, definitely let me know, guys. Definitely let me know. I would love your input, and I will see you guys next week.